All right. Hello. Apparently we're up.
Okay.
Please let me know, because I know you will. How do we sound? If we sound like we're at the bottom of that fucking pool, we're going to walk out.
Does it sound okay?
How does it sound?
Thumbs up
Okay.
from Kelly back there. Is it thumbs up from the people? Do I look like Paul Bunyan in this? So I saw a clip of myself the last time we did this, and for whatever reason, this angle makes me look like
giant?
El Gigante. It's ridiculous. So hopefully I don't look like that again.
It's the Off-Air Show presented by the original light beer. Miller Lite tastes great and only 96 calories. When it's time for the Off-Air Show, it's Miller time. All right, Murray, tell me about this Fakakta thing with your TV.
Yeah, well, do you trust yourself to put up a bracket and mount a TV on the
Okay.
wall? Would you do it? Or would you hire someone?
Okay. I would not put the bracket on the wall.
Yep. Stud finder, the
right,
whole
gotta
deal.
find the stud
Yeah.
and make sure that it's secure and level. No fucking way. If it's a small enough TV, I can screw the back of the TV into the
bracket
the
itself that'll
arms,
attach. Yes.
the brackets and the arms.
I got no problem doing that.
You know, if it's a manageable TV.
Yeah.
If it's a big ass TV, I'm not doing either of it, and I'm not doing the thing. I'm frankly not putting anything into the wall. I can
Yeah.
barely hang a picture. I don't trust myself to level it or find the studs or anything like that. So I'm not doing any of that shit.
Yeah, if you ask, unfortunately, most people I've ever rented an apartment from, or even my poor parents when they were alive and I lived at home, like I was a hole in a wall waiting to happen. I'll put, fuck it, whatever. And now that this is, my wife and I have agreed, even more than marriage, this is the most adult thing we've ever done. We buy this place. We want to make sure we're doing the right thing. And even there's already been a few little things that have been like a Jim hole in the wall, like, fuck, I fucked this up. And now I got to call a handyman because I'm not that handy. I mean, I can do little piddly things, but I didn't trust myself to put up an 85-inch television on this wall.
And people are giving you shit.
Oh, again,
fuck off.
I mean,
if you can't, you need two people
you
to
need
do
two
it.
people to pick it up anyway. But I was not going to put the bracket in and try to do this myself. And so what happened was I made the mistake of looking for someone last Saturday because I found this guy that looked reputable. This is the first time I actually feel like I got duped by the internet. I feel like I'm good with scams. Like, there lately, even the Mass DOT had to put out a big thing. I don't know if you saw this in the news
I've
recently.
seen these texts,
this Easy Pass thing. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like you're not going to get me. Like, you're not going to catch me slipping. But this guy caught me slipping. Like, this guy had he had this like professionally looking website, showed some work he had done.
How'd you find it?
Well, because I mentioned recently, because of all this Facebook Marketplace stuff I've been doing, I got back on Facebook with a burner. So I just went in to the search and was like, TV installation guy, local, near Wakefield. And this business pops up. I'm like, this looks reputable. And I happened to be drunk this one night. So I was like, duh. So I book him. And I don't hear anything for like a day or so. I'm like, this feels weird. I feel like it was reputable. This guy would get back in touch with me. So I write this email. I look again at the website. And I'm like, yeah, I don't trust it. Cancel this appointment on Friday, whatever the hell it was. And then he sends me a nice text. He's like, hey, I've been busy with stuff. I still want to do the job. It was a decent enough price. And I was like, oh, that was nice. Why don't you still come at Saturday at 1? Saturday morning before I do the show last week, 10 in the morning, I sent him a text. I'm like, hey, you coming? Nothing. Crickets. And immediately I'm like, oh, fuck. And so that's when I went into panic mode. And around noon, I cancel with him and I don't hear anything back. And this guy ends up becoming, it just turns out to be, I have to read you this email because it turns out this guy was like a junkie or something, and thank God he didn't come to my house. So let me read this email. And this
I
is
don't
why,
understand the scam because he has to actually come and do it and get paid.
because I think
You didn't pay him beforehand.
No, but I think he has a front page up, and I think this guy will occasionally put your TV up if he's not strung out on what the hell he's strung out on. Because later in the afternoon, after I take to Twitter, and now I'm pissed because I want the fucking TV up, I take to Twitter and be like, hey, does anyone have any recommendations for a reputable person that'll put up a TV? And for every one nice message, and shout out to the guy that told me to go to Mr. Home Guy. That's who we used. Thank you for that recommendation. He was awesome. But everyone's like, take away your man card, pussy, cuck, can't put up your own TV, afraid of a level. Like, no, I just don't want to ruin our new home. This is the nicest thing and most adult thing my wife and I have ever done.
Meaning buy a house.
Yeah. And I don't want to put fucking holes in the wall because I am... So earlier in the week, I built my wife's new office chair, which is going to fall apart because halfway through it, it's just me screaming expletives and screws not fitting in and me being like, you motherfucker, get in your car. And so that's just going to be me times 1,000 trying to put a bracket in the wall for a TV. So I'm not doing it. And call me a pussy all you want. I'm never doing anything like that. So I'm glad I found this guy. But this guy who canceled, my God. He writes me an email. So find a guy, puts it in, great. TV was broken. That's another story. But later in that day, on Saturday, he writes the header, "Hey, Jim, I'm really sorry about today. Tell me if you would ever hire this guy to do anything. Hi, Jim. I'm really sorry for wasting your time today. I had every intention of making it over there by 1 p.m. I set 2 alarms for 11 a.m. Oh, it gets better. One on my phone and an alarm clock across my room. I don't know why the other one didn't go off, but my phone had connected to one of my AirPods, so I just didn't hear it and didn't wake up until like 2 p.m. And saw your text and feel really awful about it. I tried calling and texting. I don't know if you blocked my number. I did. Understandable if you did, but I wanted to offer if you still need help with the TVs, I'd even do it for free just to make up for wasting your time. If you do still need the help, just let me know. I could head over there and be there in an hour. If not, I'm really sorry again. If there's something I can do to make up for it, just let me know. Again, I'm really, really sorry and kicking myself for leaving you hanging like that. I really didn't mean to. You can call or text me or email me anytime. Thank you. This guy's name. What a kook. Oh, my God. Like, dude, if you can't sleep until 2 on a Saturday, what's wrong with you? So, yeah, that was my weekend last week. But I don't believe, the point of this is I don't believe I should be shamed for hiring a professional to put up the TV correctly.
Definitely not.
I don't want to ruin my place.
Definitely not. 100% not.
Any of it. Like,
I mean, again, if it's that size TV, you can't see. That's like a
I can put
42
I can put a 42-inch TV up front.
42-inch TV where the bracket's already in the wall? Okay. Can you actually put the bracket into the wall?
I could, yeah.
I mean, I could, but I'd probably screw it up. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to.
I have in the past, but again, like, so I had this guy do the other ones for so my wife and I have separate bedrooms, like, because I snore too much and we want to remain married. So
I'm sorry, back up. You have what?
We've slept in separate bedrooms for going on 4 or 5 years now.
Really?
Yeah. You know, and when we want to have like the marital bed, it'll depend. It's usually mine, but to sleep, to sleep. I mean, we came to this conclusion here. If this is going to work, like, we have to have separate bedrooms
because of you.
Oh yeah. And then because I don't want to hear it. You're snoring. I know I am. So, like, I don't want to hear it. So what do you want me to do about it? And I'm not getting that stupid sleep apnea mask. So, you know, yeah. So yeah, we also had this guy put her TV in and my TV in as well. So
you sit in your separate bedrooms watching TV?
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of texting each other back and forth. Yeah. No, I've said before.
Can you bring me a soda, honey?
If not the bedroom thing, I'll tell you, the key to a happy marriage is 2 bathrooms. You have to have the guy bathroom and you have to have the woman bathroom, because when we cohabitated initially, when we got together and we lived in the 1 bedroom with the 1 bathroom, it was becoming real problematic because, no offense, Kelly, like, my things that make me crazy, there isn't a woman alive that knows how to take toothpaste out of a toothpaste tube without fucking the whole operation up. And because I'm a big hairy animal, it's like pube city in there for her. So it's got to be separate bathrooms. So that my best recommendation for young couples, if you can afford it, make sure you got a place you can rent or buy with 2 bathrooms, yours and hers.
So we've had that, but the problem is Sarah always comes and uses mine because Sarah, you wouldn't know this about her looking at her because she's so well put together and just a delight in every single way. She lives like a fucking 19-year-old frat boy. She
clothes everywhere.
Piles of clothes everywhere. You know, her bathroom's a fucking disgrace. And she won't, like most men, she won't simply change out the toilet paper. You know, like you know, take out the cardboard thing, throw it away, and replace the toilet. Nope. When she runs out of toilet paper, she comes over to my side because she's too fucking lazy to simply put the toilet paper back into her side. Just picture, if you're old enough, if you have a 19-year-old son who's home from college and how he carries himself, that's the wood. It's that bad. It's that bad.
No shit.
Oh, that bad. So we have 2 bathrooms, but it doesn't work. She always comes to my side because she doesn't want to change the toilet paper, or her side gets dirty, or she doesn't want to clean her side, so she comes to my side. And it defeats the whole fucking purpose.
Yeah, thankfully I don't deal with anything like that.
You looking forward to New Orleans?
I am.
How you had hesitation in your voice?
Yeah, well, so it's funny. These things, I was talking to Mark Capello, who's our guy behind the scenes that grabs all the guests. I am, and I haven't been in New Orleans in probably 6-7 years. It's just that one in Phoenix was the line of demarcation for me. That was the one I left feeling like I went into these, and we're still so lucky to do them, and they're fun. They really are. But those first few, Mike, I was like, ah, my God. And after Phoenix, it was like, I remember Phoenix, even before the night that I got too fucked up, like the Wednesday, I'm like, there's still like a few days to go. Like I like being home. I'm like becoming more of an old homebody now. Like after a few days, I want to go home. Like a week's a long time, and so it feels a little more workish than it did a few years ago. But it'll be fun. New Orleans is great. It's one of my favorite cities in the country.
Exactly, and for a foodie, like,
I can't wait.
Do you have places that you've?
Koshan is the one I booked for myself. On Monday because they have my.
Koshan's on Magazine Street.
Yes. Yeah. And they have the butchery too, but they have these wood-fired oysters that I'm going to eat until I feel shame. So that's like my favorite.
And you're going by yourself?
Yeah. I mean, if anyone else wants to go, I just, in case people had shit going on, I made sure I booked a single seat for Monday night. So
they have single, like at the bar or just
at the bar.
And you can book a single seat at the bar at Koshan.
Yeah. Yeah. But if anyone else is down, believe me, I'm down to.
Okay.
I don't need to be a lonely grump at the bar.
Are you going to the World War II Museum?
I want to at some point. Yeah. Yeah, highly recommend. I've been twice, and
you've been twice. You've been.
Yeah. Now the bummer is going to be because the last times I've been, I read today that like less than 1% of all the World War II veterans are alive at this point. Like they're all done. And they they're the boats that won the war that they tested out on Lake Pontchartrain. All the boats that went to Normandy and had the troops storm the beaches or whatever. And they would have these old timers there volunteering, telling you about working on the boats and all these great stories. Now they're all dead.
Right.
I can't imagine there's anyone else still working there. But even beyond that museum is incredible. I want to go again.
Okay. We'll get some texts here, some messages. This guy, Logan, says the guy on the left sucks. So if you're looking, who's on the left? I mean,
no, I think that's me.
You're on my left. But if you're watching from here, I think I'm that guy.
Oh,
yeah. Well, you're not the first to say that. I just wanted to make you
can't win with most of you people.
I just wanted to straighten out who's on the left.
Again, the vitriol I faced for not being able. You're afraid to use a level, you pussy. Take away your man card. Like, oh, fuck off. Like, And I just don't. I know, like Hardy's your tool. And Hardy and Maz are your like tool guys that want to like put stuff up and do projects. Oh, I hate a project. I don't want to do anything like that.
What's the best band that came along after 1991?
After 91?
So I'm like, that's just another way of saying, because rock and roll is kind of dead, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Like what's the best new rock band?
Is it what's the band? There's this band I mentioned them before the last couple of years. They're from Baltimore. They're kind of like not pop punk, but they opened for Blink-182 the last time they came around. Dispatch? Is it
No. Isn't Dispatch the band from around here? The three hippies from Vermont?
It's
Boston?
It's not Dispatch. What are they called? Kelly, you know who I'm talking about?
I mean, it might be.
Turnstile? Fucking A. Someone knows.
Okay, but name someone that's...
But I can't even remember.
No. Okay, but give me someone that's commercially successful.
Oh, jeez. Hold on, I'm trying to think of this band. Commercially successful, like in the last 10 years?
Yep.
I don't know.
It doesn't exist, right?
Yeah, no. And it is Turnstile. Thank you. Yeah, and they're not really that well known, I feel like. So, yeah, it's been like guys that started as rappers that have decided to become rock guys, it feels like.
So, Kings of Leon, not last 10 years. I saw them...
Yeah, that's
15 years ago at the Paradise.
That's 09.
Okay.
Or even before, 05. I think Aha Shake Heartbreak came out in 04, so it's now 20 years ago.
There you go.
Yeah.
Molly Chambers, you mean that? Like that? Yeah.
Yeah, they opened for U2 in 05. So
that's older
20
than
years
10
ago.
years. My Morning Jacket gets a nod, but...
Oh, I like them.
Very much so. Is that in the last 10 years?
No. You know who I think I've said to you before, they were like the real-life Stillwater from Almost Famous. Like that. I loved that band. But then they kind of went by the wayside too, or became a little too noodly for my taste. But those first few albums I liked a lot.
The Killers,
but 20 years ago, Hot Fuss is 04. I like Franz Ferdinand. Like a lot of those bands are now like 20 years ago. Muse, that's 20 years ago. Muse is fantastic. But again, that's old.
How about
last 10, 5, nothing.
Listen to the new jam band is Goose.
Oh, I keep hearing that name. I'm good with any jam bands.
I mean, I like dead jam bands, but I don't need new. I don't like new bands. Like, oh, you gotta listen to these guys. This new guy. Like, no, I don't. I don't have to. I'd rather go backwards and find old stuff that I don't know existed.
Yeah.
I'd rather find a different thing from the late 60s to early 70s, which is the golden age of rock and roll. I'd rather just keep mining that than listen to a new band. So you're kind of asking the wrong guy. I'm sure Goose is fucking great. I don't care. I just don't have the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not.
Do you know? Speaking of all this, do you know of any shows happening next week besides like I'm splitting before like parties and stuff. But,
I absolutely like.
Because I've looked at StubHub for like and put in the week and there ain't jack shit, and which I find disappointing because one of the things that's nice. One of the things I liked about Vegas last year is we had that thing to go to with the U2 Sphere show, which was amazing. And I like maybe an event happening earlier in the week, or like we went to the Golden Knights game, or there's been like a game to go to.
Yeah.
The Pelicans aren't even in town next week. Like there's nothing like one of those things to do on a random night.
Such great music in New Orleans.
Right. You can fall ass over tea kettle and walk into any of those bars and usually find something.
Right. So,
but I didn't know if there was like,
is
Trombone Shorty playing like a small set somewhere?
You just go to Frenchman Street. But let me, so I have it right here. Let's see. When do we get there? On the
Sunday, the 2nd. Okay,
this is not going to be interesting for people, but there's got to be.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. But not just Ticketmaster. Like what's at Tipitina's, what's at the bars, what's at, like places you don't need. Well, I'll look. But there's like a live music calendar New Orleans.
Okay. All right, we'll find something.
Like it'll give it to you. All right. Let's see. Oh, when are you guys going to let Big Jim play guitar on the air? Good question. When are you going to play guitar for us?
I mean, if you really want, like, on air, I'm not bringing it in on air.
No,
like,
right here on this fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll haul one in here. I like having that for myself. That's like my.
You won't do it for us?
I don't even play for my wife.
Oh, come on.
I really don't. No, she doesn't even hear it, Kelly. She's like, why won't you learn these Social D songs? I'm like, because I kind of only like them. Like, like I want to play shit I like. Oh, all right, I'll bring it in one of these times.
Bring it in. So what would you play?
I mean, stuff that I feel confident that could you sing to? Like, let's see, Melissa.
You mean Allman Brothers?
Yeah. I can easily play that. Still the Same, Bob Seger. What else? I feel confident I can play that. A lot of pretty easy shit, like 3-4 chord type nonsense that like any hack could play after a year. There's like 4 or 5 songs I feel like I could pull off confidently, but you got to sing. If I'm going to bring it in, it has to be the deal. You got to sing along.
I got to sing along?
Yep.
No problem.
All right.
Give me the low end. Let's see. Found new respect for Jim having a separate bedroom. Why don't you just get a? You're that bad?
Oh, it's yeah, it's yeah, it's.
Have you tried like the sleep apnea things?
Yeah, I mean, so I've got to go in a couple of months. But last year, my doctor was like, "You're a good candidate." I'm like, I just told him like I cut him like I'm not doing this. I'm never wearing that thing. Anyone I've ever talked to said it's a nightmare, including Maz. And after a while, it's just wasted money because you rip it off your face at the end of the middle of the night. But I've tried all the other stuff. Occasionally, the nose strips work. I've heard Missoula on with Zoe and Beetle one of the times talking about like the tape you put over your mouth. I tried that once. It feels like you're about to get stolen and raped. Like it's a whole so I just deal with it. And every once in a while I get a good night of sleep and I feel refreshed. But otherwise, yeah, it's a real roll of the dice sleeping with that sleep apnea. Will you wake up? Who's to say?
Do you sleep?
I do. I don't really wake up in the middle of the night, but I average probably like 5 hours, maybe. Like, I don't know how great it is, but I do feel like I get a good night's sleep.
Like Maz, when he told us he gets up at 4:30
oh, yeah, no,
every
that's
day.
A nightmare. Like, that's a nightmare. Oh, Maz, hello.
What's up, Maz?
Tell us how bad the sleep apnea mask is.
Do you sleep in separate bedrooms too, Maz? You can let us know. Where's Maz in the chat? I'm still looking at my music calendar.
Its username is probably like AppMan1.
Let's see.
And how is he able to get it? Well, I guess you could pull it up.
So Maz gets up at 4. What do you do? I'd say the same thing, man.
I want to know how he's able to listen to YouTube while driving. Like, unless
because he's got some sort of app.
He mirrors YouTube to his big screen in his fancy car. Or he just tells Alexa, play YouTube while driving.
Yeah, there's like, there's there's shit at the Tipitina's pretty much every night.
Okay.
Like
that'll be worth it, I'm sure.
Yes.
Like anything I've ever
one
walked
night
in.
just to go in. Yes. Yeah. Yes. We'll find you some music.
Okay,
for sure.
Cool. Because I like a big horn section, in the.
I thought you don't like horns.
No, so I don't like horns in terms of ska, but I like horns
Like a big brass band.
Big brass band, Dirty Dozen brass band. I've seen a couple of times, are awesome. I like the whole funeral procession thing that they do.
Yeah,
there. I've always
yeah.
been fascinated
that line
by
that goes.
Yeah, the third line thing, I think is what it is. And it's sad, and they play sad music, and then they get to end. It's a party. Like, that's what I've always felt like a funeral should be like. It's sure, it sucks you lost this person, but it's also a celebration of life. So, and that, fucking everyone having a time. Oh, like I always love that. I love that city.
Maz says the apnea machine has saved me.
I thought you didn't like it, though.
It says it saved him.
Well,
he still gets up at fucking 4:30.
Yeah.
So how much has it really saved you? So I don't know how much it saved you.
I just know from a couple of my
Dave says Maz is driving with his apnea mask right now.
Yeah. I've talked to a couple of my friends that said, like, no, I'd rather just, die an early death than try to sleep with that thing because it's just a nightmare. And now apparently they can also do some sort of thing. They cut you open and put something in you too. No, I don't do any of
we don't
that.
need to do this.
Yeah, no.
Murray, how else is the new house coming?
Nice.
What are you finding about home ownership?
I'm paranoid about everything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's, when you're renting, it's not yours. No, I'm not out to, like, fuck anything up. But you're like, yeah, whatever. That's someone else's problem. Now, I can feel that OCD creeping in like, oh, that could use a painting. What's this scratch? Who did this to this? Is this leaking? Like it's a,
Maz, Murray, you have cats.
So I don't actually.
Oh,
no.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a horrible story. Yeah, we don't. We haven't had. I don't even want to get into it right now. We haven't had cats for like almost a year now.
Oh
so,
no.
Yeah, it was a sad, horrible story. It's part of a sad, horrible year from November 23 till about May of last year. Yeah, it was not great. They're not dead. We had to rehome them, and it was horrible, 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 horrible. I went against every fiber of my being. Like I never wanted.
You can't share.
Maybe I don't want to talk about it right now. Not at this point. I really don't.
It's too raw.
It was bad. I
don't mean to make fun, but
no,
I do find pet people kind of.
No, I get it.
Funny.
Yeah. No, a lot of people would be like even my sister was like, well, who cares? I'm like, it was a whole thing. So
I'm definitely that guy. I mean, love my pets and my dogs, but pets are pets and people are people. Like there's just this always strikes me. Like there's this commercial for dog food that
it's the real food, and then they
keep it in the fridge.
Yes. Yeah,
so the guy has a date, and the date comes over. The chick, good-looking girl, comes over, opens the fridge, and says, "Oh, you keep dog food in with your real food?" And the guy says, "Yeah." And she's like, "Well, that's kind of weird." And the next thing is the scene of him closing the door on the hot girl, and sitting down and eating eating dinner with the dog. And I sit there every time I say, I'm supposed to think the guy's the cool guy? Wait a minute. I'm supposed to think she's the asshole? And I'm supposed to sympathize with that guy who just turned down getting laid so he can feed his dog? What the fuck is wrong with people? Like, it's gotten goofy. Like, that's the good guy and she's the asshole? Everyone's got it backwards, but you're probably like the pet food in the fridge person. I'll slam the door on the date.
Funny. So those commercials come on. My wife and I are like, that guy gets it. Like,
oh my God. I look and say,
no.
I'm supposed to want to be that guy?
Yeah.
Home alone?
Yeah.
With my mangy dog as opposed to getting laid with the hot chick? What? The world's upside down. Upside down.
Look, and it could be a bit much. People that bring like their pets to weddings. I wouldn't go that far, but like, there's stories.
People bring their dogs everywhere now. It's fucking embarrassing. Airports have become
my single days
petting zoos.
I mean, there was a couple of times, at least in Connecticut. Oh, so you're a cat guy? Like, ugh. And I'm like, all right, this ain't gonna work. And like, so what? And I'm like, well, this date's over. Like, we're good. Like, I know this isn't gonna go anywhere. I think you're an asshole. You think I'm a freak because I'm a cat guy. Like, let's just go our separate ways. Why waste each other's time?
Maz says he's out. Bye, Maz. Sorry.
Bye, Maz. Enjoy the sleep apnea.
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
With my erroneous info, I thought you didn't like it.
Come in here. You Maz values chit chat. Come in here sometime and just chit chat. It's just, this is the spot for you. This is where we chit chat. What were you just saying?
But about the play, so we're pet free as of right now. So it's a big condo for the both of us.
So why don't you re-pet?
We will eventually.
Re-cat.
Yeah, we will eventually. We're just still trying to ease into the move. We're still living around boxes and everything.
I'll tell you why. Because you value your home more than a fucking pet.
Oh, no, we're going to get something. It's all a matter of time. It's just, we're dealing with the move still, living around boxes. But yeah, I've been with I know you've made the you play with your cats, Murray. Like, and I want to be like, well, actually, I don't have them anymore. But well,
so sad, Murray. Let's see. What
else are the people yammering about on there?
People just start weighing in on their cats and dogs. I don't really give a fuck about the cats and the dogs. Cats and dog people.
Oh, and the other thing that I found, this was to be expected because there was like a small plumbing issue. Shout out 128 Plumbing and Heating. One of our great sponsors. Brian does an awesome job there with his company. It's been, you're moving into a place it's to be somewhat expected, but boy, it's a lot of coming and going. Because we bought all new stuff too, so it's a lot of deliveries, a lot of guys showing up. Sometimes the wife getting a little panicky because some guys seem a little dodgy to her, and they ended up fucking up the TV that they delivered last week. So we get it up on the wall finally last Saturday. I hear the guy say, sir, come around the corner. Oh, womp womp, thing's not working. But shockingly, so I bought the TV on Amazon, and I thought it was going to end up in a Felger hell of like on the phone, getting directed this way, that way. People that really don't understand you. And no, shockingly, it couldn't have been easier. And I'm under the impression, having dealt with this now, that Amazon deals with a lot of big broken TVs because they replaced it, no issues. They didn't even want photos. They're like, yep, just like rebox it. This third-party company will come in a couple of days. We'll send you the new one. Bang, bang, boom. And like, couldn't have been easier. I was shocked. But it's Amazon. They make billions and billions of dollars, so maybe they can afford a couple of broken TVs here and there.
This guy asked a question a couple times. What's the strangest interaction you've had with a fan of the show?
I was pretty proud of this one. So, the heyday of the Pats winning, people hate listening to this show. So this one will always stick out. I would say 99.8% of the interactions are always positive, and I appreciate that anyone listens, especially with as many options as you have. But at the heyday of like the end of the Pats run, you know how it was, especially during Deflategate. Like people were occasionally crazy and kind of dicks. The trip down in 2018 to Nashville, which I paid out of pocket for, was down there with a couple of buddies. I would do a Pats road trip like every year for like 12 years. That's when we went to. This I got my drunk balls on. I'm gonna go say something to Jim Murray and give him a piece of my mind. And remember, in 2018, so that's the middle of that season. I think they suck. I think the dynasty's over. I talked about that. This kid definitely wanted to fight me and was like in my face. And a couple of my buddies did the circle around thing. But I diffused it. And we actually ended up hugging it out over the mutual hatred of Boston College.
Love you, man.
But this went from and I've dealt with a few ear holings before, but this was even I was like, oh, this kid's going to try to swing on me. This is going to turn bad. But I'm here for a reason in that I'm a silver-tongued devil. I was able to diffuse the thing just by talking and kind of made him look like a fool a little bit. And then we somehow came to the conclusion we both hated BC and then hugged it out and had drinks. And it was fine. But that one for a few minutes, I was like, this is going to get a little weird here. That was the one that I was like, oh, you people are fucking crazy. You entertain, and it's like an entertainment show. I get it. Sports will bring out emotion. People sometimes piss people off. But I think what ended up, I remember the thing I kept telling him, you understand, buddy, I'm here paying out of pocket. I'm not here I love the team too, but I'm not going to be rah rah shish boom ba about them like you are. just fucking calm down. It's just an opinion on sports. What the fuck is your issue about this?
So I can't remember. I just there's always one that I loved. But it was so Boston. I'm with one of my daughters at the time, and she's little. She's 6 years old. So maybe it's Tessa, my younger. I can't remember. And we're on Newberry Street, and I'm holding her hand, and we're walking this way on the street, and I hear behind me, "Hey, Felgy!" Really nice. Hey, Felgy. And both me and my daughters are around 6 years old. And we turn around and the guy looks and goes, "You fucking suck." In front of the kid, really? She was all right. It was kind of funny.
There was people that yelled at me too. The Pats win that game 13-3 and ended up with a pass to go to the Pats party. Oh, and I got a dirty look from Kyle Van Noyen there. It was because remember that year was annoying, but that 18 felt like people were pissed. Because I got yelled at by a couple of dudes outside the party, too. I'm like, oh, calm the fuck down. And they just won the Super Bowl, you dickhead.
Really? Like,
you know.
So this is why I think there's a lot of fans who just like the bleh. Like like they're in it for that.
Yeah.
And not the actual, like, the game, the competition, all that stuff. But so what? So they're all listeners and viewers and, all in the same bucket.
I will say the team sucking, though, has definitely brought people back to a more normal level.
It has a little bit.
Yeah.
Abby asks you, Murray, have you gotten any new ink?
No, I haven't got a tattoo in, 13 years, 12 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I keep, my dear cat Blue, I was going to get a tattoo of him, never did. I was going to get the National Elevator Industry, like, belt buckle logo for my dad on.
Cool.
I never did that. I don't know. There's been ideas. But I'm like, I don't like leg tattoos, and I'm like too doughy to put anything else on my like chest or anything. So I don't know, and I certainly don't want to put any in my back.
Don't put anything on your back or your chest, Murray, or your neck.
Yeah. Oh no, neck tattoos are out. Like they're job stoppers. I actually like how they look on people, but I would never get one. You have to be a musician to get a neck tattoo, or a tattoo artist. I think.
Yeah. A bartender.
Yeah, something like that. But no,
I somehow got logged out, Kelly. I can't log back in, but I think we're done. We've been doing this 30 minutes. 32 minutes. How much do you fucking people want?
Right.
Anything else? Any closing thoughts?
Well, we won't be doing one next week in New Orleans. Yeah, and I just can't stress enough because the other thing that people, responded poorly to on the internet because someone asked over the weekend, like, what's the deal for Tuesday night? And I was like, here's the deal. I go, here's the deal for Tuesday night.
We're going to
a nice dinner, and I'll be in bed by like 11. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's over. I'm not doing that shit anymore.
It's over.
Yeah. Can't do it. I can't do it. Like,
unless we find something that's fun. No plans.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll catch you 2 weeks from tonight, and we'll give you the New Orleans recap. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.